Hello and welcome to the buying guide for the Blade 150S collective pitch helicopter, the new 150 size 3D helicopter from Blade. Now this is dubbed a intermediate 3D helicopter, but in my personal opinion, I think everyone from beginners up to advanced helicopter pilots can have fun and success with this particular model. Reason being is for you beginner pilots, this has safe technology, which essentially keeps the helicopter level and makes it to where if you give a stick input and maybe go to bank the helicopter left, it returns it to level. You don't stay left and then continue to go down. It's a great way to learn how to hover, great way to learn orientation and kind of the basic inputs needed to successfully fly realistically any helicopter or quad. Now this also has progressive flight mode, so you can bump up from that all the way up to say full 3D mode and do the tricks, the stunts, the craziness that the professional really advanced level helicopter pilots are able to do with these. Same heli, nothing has to change other than that flight mode switch. And while we're talking about that, this has panic recovery. So whether you're in that safe flying mode or you're in full 3D, at the tap of a button, this thing will auto level itself. And essentially it kind of turns on safe for a brief moment, brings it back to level non-inverted flight should you hit it while you're inverted. Caveat to that, if you're 6 inches above the ground inverted, it's probably not going to have time to flip over and catch itself. So just be mindful of that. It's more for if you get too far out, too high up, you lose orientation, maybe you think the tail's towards you and it's not. It kind of helps kind of regain your composure, or maybe you fly across the sun or a bug starts biting you. It's a really good tool to kind of lean on if needed. Now another really cool thing about the 150S is this is taking design elements direct from the 180 CFX and the Trio 180. So any of you guys that have that, a lot of the parts are the same in this particular model. So it's got the optimized servo geometry, full carbon fiber frame. That nice high powerful motor is still in this thing, very cool. Same main gear. Where we deviated is from the tail back. So this has a direct drive tail motor, which just drives the single blade back here. I shouldn't say single blade, but one piece blade. There's no collective in the rear. And essentially what that does is it makes it to where there's, in the event of a crash, there's one part you really need to kind of worry about should the tail go in, that main boom there, the tail boom. You can either bend it back in place, keep a couple spares on hand, but there's no drivetrain in that boom. It's just wires. Makes it simple, makes it nice and easy. And oh, I should talk about the blades. These are not carbon fiber blades, they're actually a composite blade. So what that enables you to do is be a little bit rougher on these guys before they actually break. Carbon's kind of known for breaking at any discomfort it might feel. They snap, they fracture, you got to get rid of them. It's super dangerous. These blades do not have that problem. So for spare parts, you really only need main gears, tail boom, maybe a landing gear. You might want to keep blades on hand, but you probably don't even actually need them, to be perfectly honest. Maybe a main canopy, because these might crack should you go nose in. Now you might be thinking, why would I buy the 150S? It's a little smaller than say like the 230S, and it's not really small enough to fly indoors. This thing has a lot of power for its size, which is good and bad. You know, I probably wouldn't recommend this for indoor flight unless you have a really big gymnasium. The power is nice because it can get you out of a tight spot, but it can also get you into that tight spot just as easily. So it has enough power to fly outdoors comfortably, no problem. There's actually a Horizon Insider where I took this out on a pretty windy day, went out in the open, and I was blown away at how well this tail held in place, how much I was able to really throw this around before the tail finally did give out. So I would highly recommend this for like, if you have a big backyard or local parks. This is a really great size. And it's not super intimidating. It's not overbearing. You know, onlookers aren't going to be freaking out if you're flying at a park. But this will also work at a flying field. So it's a really good size. It's got a good power to weight ratio. It's a better power to weight ratio even than the 230. So just keep that in mind. That being said, you also get 5 to 6 minutes of flight time, which is incredible because a lot of us that are used to like this size heli, you get like 3 to 4 minutes on a good day. So 5 to 6 minutes is great from this 4S LiPo. So you will need, this is a bind and fly basic model, you will need a 4S 400 to 500 milliamp JST connector LiPo. So we obviously have those on our website. You will need a DSMX transmitter to bind to this. You only need 6 channels, so you don't need to get anything crazy. And then you need a way to charge that LiPo as well. Aside from that, you're ready to bind up and take flight with the Blade 150S. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know in obviously the comment section. give us a call. These are available at local Horizon Hobby retailers or online at horizonhobby.com. And finally, make sure you subscribe. That way, anytime we release a new product video or a new buying guide, you get to see it before anyone else. So we will let you guys go. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next buying guide. Thank you.